Hi, thanks for coming back to Talking with Jeffrey. And I'm Jeffrey. Lately, I've actually been thinking on how and why modern games are bad these days. The first video game system that I actually remember playing on growing up was the Nintendo 64. For a while, that was my life for gaming, and then I got a PS1. Didn't play much on the PS1, truthfully, but I did, however, play a ton of my early childhood on the N64 with a variety of great games. I know that we have all played a ton of great games on the N64, but for those that haven't, I am sorry. You missed out on some great games. Why do I see modern gaming as bad? Especially with modern games? Well, since the launch of the PS3 and the Xbox 360 to the current realm of gaming, you pretty much need an internet connection to install such a basic game. When you go to the store, there's like hardly anything in the electronics department for video games unless you go to a used video game retailer like GameStop. Most, or if not all, games are pretty much digital these days, and digital game purchases were often the cheaper option if you didn't want to buy brand new. These days, a developer and the digital marketplace, they can pull the listed games online for any reason, and you'd lose access to such games. I'm also referring to Steam, Epic Games, the PlayStation Store, Xbox Marketplace, and many others as well. Back in the day, we didn't need to have an internet connection to insert the game disc and then install the game. The game was on the disc, and that we as the gamer consumer actually owned after buying. On systems like the PS1 and 2, the Dreamcast, GameCube, Wii, the original Xbox, and much older systems, you just inserted the disc or cartridge and boom, there's your game. When it comes to gaming these days, instead of the whole console war type of thing, which I actually do kind of miss for more of the comedic effects, we have the PC versus console style of war, where gamers are at a verbal war on which is better to play on. PC gaming, 100% of the games these days are all online and are all digital, and you have to have the right components, or your computer game ain't going to work. And if it does, it will run terrible, and it will look bad. Growing up, I remember having computer games like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, Railroad Tycoon, the Tonka series, etc. For PC gaming, to even look at the best PC pre-builds, you're looking at $1,000 to a few thousands of dollars to where it costs as much or even the same as a used vehicle. Console gaming costs anywhere, well, the gaming consoles themselves, they basically run anywhere between $400 to $800, depending on the system that you want. You can find older systems for like $40 to $200 on the private market for sales. Modern gaming? There's always the frequent update files that also take room in the system's SSD, to where if it's near full, you may need to actually have to make a tough call to uninstall the game that you may actually like in order for the update file to actually update. Plus, with modern gaming, you have to have a gaming subscription. Anyone remember when gaming on the PlayStation 3 back in those days when it was free and still is? I do. I gamed a ton back on those PS3 days. The PS subscription and Xbox, they aren't even worth it for the price. Because you don't even own the games. You're basically just renting. And renting isn't even owning, so piracy isn't theft. Nintendo Online charges $20 for the yearly cost. And PC gamers, they will brag on this up until they're blue in the face. PC gamers will claim that there's hardly any subscriptions fees. However, there are also paywalled subscription fees for certain games, so PC gaming isn't free. It is free, but it isn't. Thus, premium. Well, actually, freemium, but with, yeah. This games I'm, talking about is, pretty much any Battle.net game, including World of Warcraft. But, down in the comments, let me know what you think on the current state of modern gaming and the modern games. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more.